right. Hey, I have been looking forward to this for a long time because we have had a lot of presentations and I love them. Don't you love the presentations here? The idea of how to live our lives, what to do, how to do it, and the important moral reason of living your life peacefully, freely. Right now, what I want to do is show you what you can do in some practical, very pragmatic ways. My training and background is in communications, business, and I work regularly as a syndicated columnist and a professional speaker bouncing around the world, showing people and businesses how they can really generate more income. So that's what we're going to do today, and I want to show you some things that are particularly attuned to those of us who believe in freedom, liberty, non-aggression principle, moving forward and doing it in a real way. Matter of fact, I'm also glad we got the mic here because I want to make sure we have time. As Gina mentioned, I am going to be doing a session that's different than we had planned until just a few hours ago. The session that we had planned was for another speaker, and guess what? It's happened again. Government has stepped in and prevented some of our speakers from coming and being here with us. So what do? Yeah, that's bad. We're going to show them and have an even better meeting. Just hang on. We're going to do it. And so what I'm going to do is go through and show you some of the things that are happening in life and how you can do it. I am living the life of my dreams. I'm loving it, doing a lot. As you can see from the graphic here, getting a chance to work with people, those pictures are real. That is really me. And I got a chance to work closely with Dr. Ron Paul, with Jesse Ventura, going to different places around the world. And I want you to see what can be done. I want you to think, okay, this is what Terry is doing. How can I take what I've got, a piece here, a piece there, and this, put it together and create the unique, wonderful lifestyle that you are looking for? That's what we're going to go for. So we're going to cover a lot. First of all, write this down. Often people have questions afterwards. This is how you can connect with me. Terry at terrybrock.com. You got terrybrock.com and the number right there. That's a direct line to me, to my office in the States, 407-363-0505. I want you to do that just so that if I say something and you go, I didn't understand that, I want you to have a way to get in touch with me and to be there. So we're going to do this in a big way and let you see where we are. So as we look at where we are today, let's take a look at some points and what's happening. Right now we're hearing the war drums. It's like the statists want to have the potential for war. The war is really the health of the state. We're seeing it, and we're seeing the stock market craziness going up and down, gyration back and forth, and we're seeing the crypto craziness. How many of you can relate to that? Crypto up and down, it's given a whole new word, a whole new meaning to the word volatility. Yep, it's like that. And then I think more than anything, the police state mentality. I don't know about you, but when I came down from Orlando here, I got to have TSA do a lot of things to me that if anyone did that on the street, I'd probably want to smack them. You know what I mean? But yet they do it. And this is where we are today. So this is reality. We understand that. However, let's also look at reality, that the cryptos are not going away. We've got a technology right now that is making people go, wow. They are seeing what's happening. I just had the opportunity a few days ago to speak for the Harvard Club, Central Florida. And I got a chance to talk with them and hear some really smart people. They had, by the way, a sold-out, packed room to learn about blockchain, cryptos, and they see this is happening from a strict business point of view. The opportunities today for leveraging technology are better than ever. And I'm going to share with you some specific nitty-gritty on that. Blockchain, Bitcoin, and other digital currencies are taking off, and I love it. And now, here's something that really taps into where many of you are. Technology for international living, better than ever, right now. And I'm talking about right here. I was just yesterday using my new phone, this Note 8 that I got, tapping into getting my article that I need to write for my editor. We've got 43 papers coast to coast, 11 million page views each month, and I need to get that out every week. So I was using this, and I was getting download and upload speeds of 66 megabits download and 25 upload. Very nice. The geek in me is going, woohoo, I love it. And this is where we are today. And I'm basing it a lot on this book. The book that I read that changed my life by Harry Brown. How I Found Freedom in an Unfree World. You can get it for just a few coins over on your Amazon near you. It is a book that has helped me enormously on how to live in the midst of a world that is unfree, what we can do. And I like the way that Henri Bergson said it. To exist is to change. To change is to mature. To mature is to go on creating oneself, and here's the key word, endlessly. Yes, we get that opportunity. We know we're going to do better. And today I'm going to give you some opportunities, because sometimes we look at them and go, well, the circumstances just aren't right for this or that. Really? Well, I'm going to turn to somebody that I admire greatly, Bruce Lee. To hell with circumstances, I create opportunities. Yes. Yes, we understand what's there. And I've seen so many of my brothers and sisters in the liberty movement going, oh no, they're lamenting what the government has done. They did this and this and this. And I have to agree. Yeah, I understand all that stuff. But here's what we want to do. I'm looking at pragmatism. William James would be proud. Pragmatism and how you can live your life your way, living internationally. Here's an example of what we're doing. Just saying, this is what I'm doing. I want you to understand. Gina and I bounce over to Amsterdam often. Some of our friends over there were founders of the Libertarian Party and movement in Europe, and working with that. I had a chance a little while ago to talk with Pedro Ferrez, just out of curiosity. Anyone know Pedro Ferrez? Those from Mexico would know him. He is a person that's been called Mexico's Charlie Rose. Got a chance to be interviewed by him and talk about what's going on. I don't use the words libertarian, anarchist, things like that very often, because people bring their own mindset to that. Instead, I like to talk about living your life your way without harming someone else. Talk about how to live your life doing really anything you want as long as you don't harm someone else and you take responsibility. Talking with this man here about history, philosophy, what happened with the Mayans, the Aztecs in Mexico, and the history of it. It was amazing doing it. And then I got a chance to talk with the people here through Alamente Speakers Bureau on Financiero Bloomberg in the Mexican chapter. Sydney, Australia, seeing what's happening there, to see what Malcolm Turnbull is doing right now. Yeah, politicians are similar around the world. And Singapore. I love what Singapore is doing as we were there, seeing how they are open to crypto and looking and moving in that direction. By the way, a very reasonable tax rate too. And then Gina and I bouncing over there to England and to Dubai. This is from the top of the world's tallest building. The Khalif Miraj, or I'm getting that wrong, but the very tall building, really nice. And then in Athens, Greece. Now I mentioned that just to say to you, this is possible today as never before. Living the life of liberty. And I'm going to show you how you can do it. You want to have content creation. This is critical. You also can have international living. These are opportunities for you. And the crypto opportunities are nothing short of enormous. We are just getting started right now. So here's what you must do. First of all, you want to get the necessary skills. Learn what to do, what the market is looking for and how you can use it. Then work like hell. I translate that to be working smart and hard. I don't know anyone in my experience, and I've had a chance to talk to a lot of people, multimillionaires, billionaires, who didn't work hard and continue to educate themselves, keep learning. Too often people look at learning or studying something as if they did it once, they don't have to do it again. You ask them, well, what about history or finance or politics or whatever? They say, oh yeah, I had that in school, as if it were an inoculation. You want to keep educating your brain and stretching. And here's really important. Circle this one and red flag it. Get the right training and help. We can't do it alone. And fortunately today, we have the infrastructure around us to get the assistance you need when you need it. We've got Skype, we've got Zoom, we've got a host of wonderful technologies. I saw this early on. I was one of the first embracers of Skype, started working with it, got to know them, working with their people as a journalist, connecting with their PR people, and one day I got a call, and they said, Terry, we've been watching what you're doing. Really? Uh-oh, what's going on? Yeah, we've been passing your videos around the world to people. Nobody's doing what you're doing. We want you to show us how to do that. And I thought, well, for the right price, we might be able to work something out here. So I became the chief enterprise blogger at Skype, pioneering and pushing forward technology that we can do. Well, now it's even better. We've got even better tools, and I want to share those with you. But here's a real key. Focus on their benefit. Too many people have what I call I trouble. Now, I don't mean EYE. I mean the word I. You ever met these people? It's like they're always talking about, well, I did this, well, I want that, I do this, I did that, me, I did, oh yeah, me. It's always about them. Very successful people are able to step back and go, hold it, let me focus on you. How are you doing? What are your problems? What can we do to help you? How can I help you? Matter of fact, I would even go so far as to saying, I agree with what my friend Jay Baer talks about when he says that today, helping is the new selling. Instead of trying to sell, help people. Find ways that you can assist them. So here's some skills that are going to be important for today. I have found this consistently over and over. You want to create compelling content. Content that people go, oh, she's got a new post. I want to read that. Oh, there's a new video that she created. I want to see that. And then learn to write great copy. Learn how to write. Cultivate that skill. There's books, there's training out there, wealth of information. I've had a chance to get to know and work with a man named Ted Nicholas and Bob Bly, people like that are extraordinarily good in writing. Ted Nicholas is called the $10 billion man. He has created and sold more than $10 billion for himself and his clients. Here's another important one. Just out of curiosity, how many of you are using video? Raise your hand up and keep it up. I'm going to look around the room and see that. You're using video in some form. This is hot right now. We're seeing that video is what our world wants. You want to learn video really well and be able to use it clearly. Pictures also do very, very well. You want to take a lot of pictures and use them in the right way. There's ways that you can use all of these principles that I'm talking about here and turn that into money right away. We could not do that just a short time ago, but now you can. And I'm going to show you how you can do that. And here's one that's really important. People connection skills. It's not just a matter of reading wonderful books like Murray Rothbard and Milton Friedman and Hayek. I love those guys. I love their stuff. But we also have to learn, how do we connect with people? Connect with people on a one-on-one basis. And you can't just wish for it. You got to work for it. Be willing to put in the time, the money, and the energy to make it happen. I love the way that Ben Franklin said it. When he said, pour the coins of your purse into your mind, and your mind will overflow your purse with coins. Work on that. Take that money, put it into ways that you can learn more. Ways that you can learn more that is beneficial to the market. That people are saying, oh, you can do that? Oh, how much would you charge to do this for me? When you hear those kind of phrases, let that be your key, that you can start moving forward and really doing something that's going to be profound. And here's something that's going to be very important. This has profoundly impacted my life. How to get what you want in life. A man who's no longer with us, but his spirit and his energy, his intelligence, his message is still there. A man named Zig Ziglar. He said, you can get anything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want. That's one, you might want to take a picture of that because that's really important. I had the privilege of getting to know Zig Ziglar a little bit through some interviews, being a fellow member of the National Speakers Association. We were both in the Speaker Hall of Fame. And Zig is a man who really embodied how to live life and what to do. And that phrase really makes it simple. Real simple. Find out what other people want. You can get anything you want, but you got to listen to what they want, how they want it, what they do. Listen carefully, and then provide it for them. Here's another point that will determine your pay. Earl Nightingale, the Dean of Personal Development. He was a man that was one of the founders of Nightingale Conant Corporation, providers of great educational knowledge. He said that your pay is always determined by three things. These three principles should guide your life. When you are putting your marketing plan together, these three are ironclad. Number one, what you can do. How proficient are you at doing a particular task? How good are you at doing it? And then secondly, the demand for your skills. You need buyers who are ready, willing, and able to pay. This is key. So it's not just what you can do. Oh, you might be real good on tsetse flies from Ethiopia in the 15th century. That's real good, Sparky, but there's not a lot of market demand for that. What you want to do is find those two areas, and then here's the third one that a lot of people forget and miss. You need all three of these. The third one, the ability to replace you. If we can replace you pretty easily, that's going to affect your pay. If you're the only one in the world that can do this, different thing. For instance, if we find that we need people in many different areas in life. We need janitors. I love them. They keep things clean, healthy, keep us alive, make it much better. A janitor has a skill that can be very important, and we do need it, but we can replace them pretty easy versus, let's say, someone who goes to school and she becomes a brain surgeon. Consummate, excellent brain surgeon, one of the best in the world. Well, you don't get that overnight. It takes a lot of study, medical school, training, learning, a lot of practice. But if you're real good at that, obviously the brain surgeon will earn more than the janitor. That's not disparaging of a janitor. It's not saying one person is better than another. This is just reality. Oh, and by the way, here's another cold, hard reality a lot of people don't want to face. A key factor is it's not dependent on your needs. Too many people feel that my needs constitute a demand on your resources. And I find it in the socialist states, they often compete with each other on who is hurting more, who needs money more, and so who should be accommodated more. Don't do it that way. Focus on these three that Earl Nightingale shared with us, and this will help you as you grow. And the opportunities today are better than ever. Just a few weeks ago, I want to share this with you. I had the opportunity to go out to Dallas, flew out to Dallas, Texas, and got a chance to be there. Hold on a minute. Got the chance to be there in a studio audience on a PBS show nationwide. I was one of three panelists, two of us in the studio, another one on Skype, talking about cryptocurrency, talking about blockchain and what it is. The world is recognizing this right now. And those of you that know some things about that, I know there's a lot of you out there that do, I'll encourage you to continue with that. Read, read, read. Saturate your mind with that. Get to know the folks over at the University of YouTube, because that's where we learn a lot today. University of YouTube. Now, are some of the professors at the University of YouTube not quite okay? Yeah, sure. But there's a lot of good there. Learn how to learn fast. By the way, one of the best things on YouTube, how many of you are using the little gear and take the audio and video and speed it up? Anyone doing that? Yes. And those of you who don't know how to do that, here's how. There's a little gear. Click on that and you'll see 0.5, 1, 1.25, 2.x. Listening to it at a faster rate helps you to learn it better. Why? Let me give you an example. Suppose that I were to talk to you like this for 2, maybe 3 hours. How would you feel? Some of you have fallen asleep already. I know, you're like that, But if I can talk to you like this, where I'm talking at a very rapid rate, you have to kind of lean forward and listen. And your brain will be active to acquire more information and remember it better. So when you're watching those videos on YouTube, a spoken word video, crank it up. Try 1.25. That's pretty good. Crank it up to 1.5. Crank it up to 2. If you can go up to 2, fine. Sometimes you have to go, ooh, they're talking a little too fast. Bring it back a little bit. That can help you enormously as you're working with it. And so you can do all of this. Well, now here's what I want to do. I want to get into some of the actual tools, nitty-gritty. I know some of you are using these tools right now. As a marketer, my MBA was in marketing years ago. We didn't have any kind of tools like this until just recently in history. And many of you are using this right now. It's a tool that I have found is enormous, and it's called Steemit. How many of you? Yes. It is really good. Oh, we got the Steemit over there. Yes, indeed. I love it. Just out of curiosity, raise your hand if you're using Steemit, even just in a little way. Look around the room. Those of you that aren't, hey, this is a signal. Get on this rascal because it is good. I want to go a little, it's all right if I go in depth on this and show you some ways you can actually make money. And I'm not talking about you got to go out and buy something and put it in. You can do this for free. You will invest your time. You will invest your energy. If you invest some money, you'll do even better. But I want to help you on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at it. It's going to be you creating compelling content. Circle and red flag that word compelling. Just to put content out there, it needs to be compelling. That means people have to go, I want to hear what she's got to say. You also want to engage your community. Circle that one. You want to get to know the community. That's a real key secret that not everyone gets at Steemit. It's the people you know and who you are helping. You help them, they will help you. We understand how that works. Oh, and then here's a third C. Be consistent with your content creation. Don't just put out one every month and expect to do really well. Regularly putting it out there. I had the opportunity, I was so honored to be the master of ceremonies for Steam Fest over in Lisbon, Portugal, just a little while ago, this last year. And I got a chance to know people. That's critical. I saw those who are doing the best have strong community ties within Steam It. You want to get to know people. And it's not a matter of, I'll upvote you if you upvote me. Very tacky. Instead, you acknowledge what they're doing and you give them specific help and say, I liked what you said about da-da-da-da. Not just, hey, good video. You want to give them help. This is what works in Steam It. And then rinse and repeat. I want to show you now some ways that I've used this in the last few days that has really worked for me. This is just practical stuff, and I'm saying this is what I have done. I want you to kind of read between the lines, watch between the lines, and think, okay, if this is what Terry's doing, I'll bet you I could do something in the way that I'm doing it. I mentioned to you that I'm a syndicated columnist. I work with business journals. We have 43 papers, coast to coast. I love going to CES. How many of you have heard of CES? What that is? It used to be called the Consumer Electronics Show. Now they just call it CES. It's by the Consumer Technology Association. I was there a few days ago with 175,000 of my closest friends, having a great time. People around the world. And really a libertarian event because it's people talking about freedom, talking about technology, talking about making money and doing that. These are a couple of the badges they give us as press, and you got to have those to get in anywhere, in the real cool places. Well, I took that, and in the past, I would just have my badge, wear it. Sometimes I would take a picture of it, but this year I did something a little bit different. And look what happened. I took a picture there. Do you see one right there? It says, CES 2000, but I want you to notice there's a dollar mark there. $32.66 that I made. Not a lot, but it's about a couple of bottles of vodka. So you can put that together. I mean, let's talk about what really matters here. So we'll put that in there. It did that. Oh, and by the way, look at the one below that. That's my badge. How many of you go to conferences? Go to conferences, you get badges and all that kind of thing. What if you could take your badge, put it up somewhere, take a picture of it, and talk a little bit about the event where you are, and make $48.52. Again, not a whole lot, but after a while, it starts accumulating. What you're doing is you're connecting with people and giving them value. Because what I did is not only did you see the picture, but there's a story. And I'm telling people what's going on. And enough people said, we like that. They upvoted it, that's the key term in Steam It, that it made some money. And it did all right. And I did some others here. These are other stories that I'm doing. So now I want you, and those of you that are on Steam It, start thinking of creative, wonderfully life-enriching ways that you can add value to others by using Steam It. I'm doing this in a number of different ways. Being with business journals helps me. I want you to think about trade journals you can get with. Think about papers locally. Think about areas that you can get involved in that are going to be very interesting and start providing that money for them right now. Matter of fact, let me come back here and show you what I did is I had a chance to work with these guys. Anyone here, I know, silly question, raise your hand if you've heard of Alibaba. Looking around, yeah, Alibaba, who are they? Well, they're huge. There I was, hardly bothering anybody. And I got another email from the PR companies. I get a lot of those around CES because they all want us to talk about their product and their service, et cetera. And they go, would you be interested in interviewing the general manager of Alibaba.com, the man in charge of all of it? Would I? Are you kidding? Yeah. So I think, well, yeah. And they said, well, we've got a testing process here. And so they wanted to check me out and all that kind of thing. So I said, okay, let's see what we can do. And I reserved a room there at the press room, got everything ready to go. And they said, well, come on over here, Terry. We're going to go over to the cafeteria. We went over to a place where they had a whole table and all these PR people sitting around the table. Most of them could speak English and Chinese. And across from me was Kuo Zhang. Kuo Zhang, he is the general manager, works directly with Jack Ma and in the largest unit, Alibaba.com. He had never had an English language interview. They wanted to interview me and find out, okay, is this going to be good? Well, we had a talk. We started talking about their philosophy, what they're doing, how they're doing it, my philosophy, and yes, explaining a way of living in an anarchist liberty-focused way. Not using those words, but talking about it. And they said, yeah, we like this. It's great. Okay, we're doing it. Yes, let's go do it now. And I thought, really? Well, we can do it over Zoom if you'd like. No, Terry, we'd like to interview with you now. So I got the first ever English language interview with the head of Alibaba.com just a few days ago. And I say that not to say, wow, how cool I am. No. What I did is I was able to talk to Kuo Zhang. And I found out where he was coming from, and then I provided value to them. They loved it. I mean, we didn't even want to end, when the interview ended, we didn't want to leave. It was great. They wanted to stick around. Wonderful people. And by the way, they're doing some amazing things. I would encourage you to, when you get some time, go out on my site, there, go to Steam It, you'll see it, and listen to what they're doing. They are doing some amazing things at Alibaba. For instance, one thing they're working on right now, you call in to order something, and just say, I'm speaking English is my native language, and I'm talking to someone who speaks Mandarin as their native language. I would speak in English, it would be immediately translated into Mandarin for them to hear. And then they would respond in Mandarin back to me, and I hear it in English. Can you imagine how that is going to decrease the friction between commerce? Now we can do more than ever. This is Star Trek level stuff. I mean, remember they did that with the Universal Translator on Star Trek. Well, now we got our own. And Alibaba is doing that and pioneering it. I think they're in 16 languages, he was telling me, they're working with right now and want to do more. And they're working with blockchain. I asked him about that. He said, yes, we want to get the processes down. We want to get the systems first, not just jump over to blockchain, but do it. This is something that's done. Well, then how does that relate to what you can do in Steam It? I took that and put it out on Steam It, did rather well. And like I said, working with Steam It, get to know the community. I encourage you to do this. Find out about them. The Lisbon program that we had was fabulous. Lots of people there, and we learned, here's one of the picture Gina got of me, by the Sofia de Melo Brainer Anderson Auditorium. I'm probably butchering that because my Portuguese is really bad, but we did that. So doing this in Steam It can pay off. Here's another one I did. How many of you know or are familiar with BitShares? BitShares, yeah, great little tool. Isn't it marvelous? You probably then know Stan Larimer, the godfather of BitShares. I interviewed him, and I did it a creative way, two times. One of them generated $40.43, another one $920.83. This is what happens when you do it, and you want to do it the right way. Doing it the right way, it helped Stan Larimer, it helps me, it helps the community to learn about it. You want to find ways that you can take and add value in a tremendous way to a lot of people. That's the key, making sure you do that. So steamit.com is the place you want to go. For those of you that haven't been there, you can sign up for an account. There's no charge to do it. No charge, you just start and do it. You can buy into it. You think, well, how do they get the money? Well, there are those that say, hey, I really believe in this, and I'm going to put in some real money, Bitcoin or dollars or fiat of some sort, and then you get so many voting shares, you get a little more steam power, they call it that way. And you actually get paid to create your content. So for those of you that are creating content, those of you who are thinking about it, I would encourage you to do it. A lot of people get into it, will try it the first time, nothing happens, they don't get anything, or they get only a couple of pennies and they get discouraged and drop out. There's a formula, and that formula is those C's that I told you about, the 3 C's. You want the content, community, and then consistency. Those 3 keys are going to help you enormously. You want to build the community and create compelling content. Let me go back here to the interview that I had with Kuo Zhang. I did that one, and I did it in a couple of different ways, positioned it differently. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. Where I grew up out in the country, we called this serious money. $718.84 for one, $380.81 for the other. This is because what I did is I just took it and creatively positioned it a little differently in Steam It. The Steam It community benefited from it. Alibaba benefited from it. And yes, I did too. This is what free market, capitalism, entrepreneurship is all about. Everybody wins. And so I'm encouraging you to look into it, to consider it. Those of you that are already using Steam It, stretch your mind. I want you to go even farther and start using it. Here's another one that I've done just recently. Anyone recognize Jeff? There, yeah. This was one of the first interviews on the new Bitcoin.com TV. As I mentioned before, I'm very honored that they have asked me to be the host for that. So I did Roger Ver as the first interview, Jeff Berwick as the second one, premiering this and talking about what's going on here. Again, adding value for all parties involved. That's the key. And a lot of people are doing this. How many of you know my buddy Kenny Polarantano? You know what? Yes. Kenny, are you here somewhere? He might be out somewhere. You want to tie into this man. If you're in Steemit, you want to listen to what he's doing. I interviewed him on Steemit, and he told us specifically how he's using this to make a living. He is living off Steemit, traveling around, doing amazing work with it. Also, Star O'Hara is doing it. Is she here? Star, are you here? She out here somewhere? Anyway, I interviewed her. She showed me what she's doing as a writer now and making really good money with it. She is doing well by writing, pursuing her passion, and doing it in the right way. Watch the video. It's out there. You can see it for free. There's no charge. And you start taking notes on that, and you go, okay, if Star is doing that, I can do it too. My buddy Chris with the Crypto Show, he and Danny are doing a great job. I went down to Austin when I was out in Dallas recently, got a chance to interview them, showed them what was going on. They talked to me, and had a wonderful interview just a few days ago with Sterling Lujan and Jeff Berwick. You see the pattern here, you find people that are doing something really well. Interviews are great. And I would encourage you, by the way, a great tool, having seen a lot that's out there over the years, Zoom is good. I'm just out of curiosity, how many are using Zoom right now? How many of you do not know what Zoom is? This is the first time you're hearing it. Oh, wonderful. Write that down. It's zoom.us. And I don't get any money for that. I should. But there, you write that down, go over there. You can get a free account, and then they have a paid account. I pay a priestly sum of $99 a year for unlimited usage. And I can bring in up to 25 people. Gina, is that right? About 25 people on the screen? Now 100, okay. 100 people I can bring in on the screen on there and create content and press one button to record it. Works really, really well that way. So we can do a lot of things like that. August, you and I did some things using that as well. It's a great little tool. Do you like it, by the way? Yeah, really handy and easy to use. Oh, here's another person that I worked with. How many of you know Erica Harris? Get to know this lady. Erica, are you here? Well, I picked a lot of good people that aren't showing up, right? Anyway, get to know Erica. She is one of the most delightful and brilliant people you'll ever want to meet because she shared how to make money in the Steemit. Matter of fact, one of these things, I love her quote here. You never run out of ideas on something you are passionate about. Because I said, Erica, how do you keep coming up with so many good ideas? She said, Terry, if you're passionate about it, you'll never run out of ideas. I thought, that's great. And Benny, how many of you heard Benny yesterday? Wasn't he dynamite? How would you like to go more in depth and learn what he has done and how he did it and how you can apply that? Would that be of interest to you? And how about if it doesn't cost you anything other than some time? Go over to my Steemit channel, it's at Terry Brock, and listen to what Benny said. We had a great time sharing some ideas on that. Here's another one. With Allah's Yummy Food, she is an immigrant to England, came to England from Latvia, speaking only Russian, learned the English language, went on to London School of Economics, got a degree, and now she talks about making food and how to put it together. And she's now making a full-time living. She recently, about 3 weeks ago, left her job and is doing it. I'm using all of this on Steemit. By the way, any of you heard of either of these two guys, Jesse Ventura or Ron Paul? Give you an example of what I did, and I want you to think again, okay, that's what Terry did. What could I do to do it just a little bit differently here? I was MC, got a chance to worked with Ron Paul there, being the shepherd, kind of moving him around the crowds that were swamping him and all that, so that he could get into a little room that Jesse Ventura had set up. You want to go see Jesse? And Jesse recorded that for his RT television program. Everyone had to leave, and I said, I'm here with Ron. They said, okay, you can stay. 3 people operating the cameras. I'm there, and I thought, this is cool. I'm right here next to the camera, down on my knees like this. I need to record this. I could do it. I reached in, got my cell phone, clicked on it, recorded, completely permissible, everything fine, and then recorded that and made it available on Steemit and let it be known to people what was there. And I even got some of the inside before they were really recording comments. And by the way, both of these guys are incredible. Really brilliant, really kind, and I love it. So here's what you want to do. You want to create compelling content. Here's how. Research your market. Find out what it is that they want. And I want you, yes, you'll use Google and Bing, but don't forget DuckDuckGo. How many of you are using DuckDuckGo, I make as my primary search engine. You're still getting all the good stuff. It's just that they're not tracking you. You want to find out what's really going on in the world? Do a search on baseball statistics for pick a team, Baltimore Orioles or Denver. What are they in the Rockies or something? Isn't that it? I'm not really big in sports. Put that in there, and guess what's going to happen? You're going to get Google prompting you for all kinds of things about baseball, about those cities, etc. They're tracking you. DuckDuckGo does not. Facebook groups. This is important. This is powerful. This is where people share amongst friends. Do not go in there and start advertising. Go in there and provide value. Provide lots of value. And of course, LinkedIn articles and groups, look at what people are doing right now. You're doing your research first. That's the real key. And then creating compelling content. Notice this, the progression on this. You start with producing some video. One way that I do it, Gina does a lot of this as well, and I'd be curious how many of you are using it. Facebook Live. How many are using Facebook Live? Write that down. If you're not using Facebook Live, I encourage you to explore it. See what's available. Why? This is where the market is today. This is what people are using, and they want to be around it, and you can use it to make money. Because then once you've got Facebook Live, they give you an MP4. That MP4 video then you take and can upload it to YouTube. Yeah, isn't that handy? You put it on YouTube, now it's getting further juice. Then take it from there and put it over on Steemit for yet another post, embedding the HTML code, so you're referring to it that way. You see, you create content, and then you start building around it. This is the way to do it. And then, of course, put it on one of my favorite places, DTube. D as in decentralized. Yes. Very good stuff. I've had a chance to do a few interviews with, his name on Steemit is Hyman Danger. His real name is Adrian. Wonderful French guy who's just brilliant. And he talks about what to do, how to do it, how to make this happen. The information is there for you, but you do have to avail yourself, and you got to study this and get help. By getting help, you're going to be able to do it much better. Create your live video, repurpose the video into various platforms. Here's another thing you can do. You can strip the audio from the video, so you've got an audio podcast. Sometimes a YouTube video really is just as good if it were audio alone. They didn't do a whole lot other than show pictures of the people. Transcribe the audio if you want. You can do that for very, very little. It's a real nice way to do it. This is why we have those wonderful people in India, in the Philippines, and many other places. They are great, and we love the transcriptions they can do. Oh, and put pictures with your text. Pictures grab the eye. It's a great way to create that content you'll like. And social media amplification. I learned this in the real world when I was the editor and the chief enterprise blogger for Skype. This is from Skype's page that we used at the time. We created compelling content. I would create an interview with someone. Here I am with a buddy of mine, Chris Brogan, who does a lot with social media and a lot with business building and owners, things like that. We did this, created the content, and put it up there. And then we would tell people about it through Skype's YouTube and our Twitter and LinkedIn accounts and other social media. We did it that way, and it worked. This is most important today, and you got to get attention of people. This is your job. What can you do to get their attention in a favorable way? And you promote it by, there's that word again, helping others. So by doing that, you're going to do much better. Create that content. We did it here. We kept doing it over and over with lots of ideas on what can happen. Here I talked to a guy who has put together a 360 job interview, helping train people on how to present themselves on Skype. He said that many engineers, many accountants, many lawyers, and others are really good in their profession, but they don't come across real well on video. He started a business training people how to present themselves, because many people get blown out of the water on the first job interview, which more and more today is Skype. Do it that way. We did the same thing when I was asked to be editor-in-chief of AT&T's largest blog. It's called the Networking Exchange blog. I had about 100 geniuses reporting to me, experts in the world on mobility, cloud computing, security, social media, and everything. And what we did is we gave content. Notice the strategy. This is what we did. We had stuff we needed to sell. AT&T is a for-profit organization, but we didn't do selling. We did helping. We did education. And I would encourage you to do the same thing. And you know what happened? I was the editor-in-chief, but we had a whole team of people. We would give really compelling content, really good stories on how people could use this new widget, this new gizmo and gadget that AT&T had, or this new service. And I remember listening to the results of sales, because we would always give the information and then say, for more information, click here. And that was the key. I remember one sale, $800 million. Good. Another one, $900 million. And another one, $1.3 billion. I don't know about you, but where I grew up out in the country, we called that serious money. And it's like, this is how it works in the real world. You create something so that people are going, I want tell me more about that. It sounds really interesting. Give content that is compelling. Then you're going to be able to do it. And matter of fact, how are we doing on time here? We've got 12:45 here. And so I want to show you a couple of things. I want to help you in a big way. One of the ways that people have asked me to do this, they said, Terry, we really want to know this, is to have a new course. I did last year, showed this, and many people got involved and got some good results on it, called Fund Your Freedom, so that you can learn exactly, specifically how to do it. And what you're going to get with that, step-by-step business building action. You're going to learn about the content creation with assistance all the way through. Steam It training is one of the things we're going to really focus on. Nitty gritty, here's how you can create these things to make money. And introduction to income generating tools that are there, along with crypto study, if you're just beginning, up to some of the more advanced capabilities. I plan to tap into the geniuses that are out there in many different areas that we've been able to work with. So you're going to be able to have live interaction with me. I will actually be there and work with you on that. You'll also get input from Gina. She's a Harvard MBA, so you'll have someone helping on the marketing side of that as well. Confidential, personal consultation. Confidential. So if you can say, I don't want anyone to know this, right, we will not record it, it's just for us, unless you want to. And you'll get the help that you need. So, and by the way, those of you that were here last year and took this, you're free. Come on in, you get it again, a revised and new one. My idea is that I love what Jeffrey Tucker said. Once you're in the house, all the drinks are free. So come on in, and you're welcome to join us again if you were in last year. Just let me know that. This is a value of $15,000. When I regularly speak, I get $15 plus the expenses for that. You're going to get all of this. 4 weeks of in-depth study and coverage. We're beginning on March the 5th. We're going to no limit question policy. No limit at all. And also a no dumb questions policy. Whatever it is that you want to ask, you can do it. You're going to get a lot of self-study materials so that you'll be able to get up to it, and a live virtual interactive presentation. I will be there. I will be there to help you live. It won't be just a recording. You'll get some recordings, but you'll get me live as well. And surprise bonuses that we're going to put in. So all of this is going to be there for you, and it's going to help you to acquire the skills. Here's the real reason: to live the life of your dreams. I see libertarians, anarchists, voluntarists, whatever we're going to call ourselves, that sometimes are not doing as well as they'd like to. I want to do what I can to help you. I think we will get the attention of the world much more favorably when we're doing very well. We're living the life of our dreams, and they go, wow, how did you do that? And we tell them about liberty. That's the core foundation for all that we're doing. All of this will be encased in a strong, free market, libertarian, anarchist, peaceful, NAP-loving, voluntarist manner. How does that sound? That's the key. If you believe socialism is the way, this ain't for you. This is not the way to do it, because we're going to be focusing on how you can do that and do it in some real good ways. Your investment on this, well, it's a $1,000 program. So for $1,000, we're going to make this available to people. However, today, we've dropped it. I want to get a lot of people in. I want to help you as much as possible. $297, that will be today. We've got some forms that we're going to pass out. You can get those. Just give it to us. We'll take fiat. We take crypto. If you got some other thing you want, talk to us. We're open to whatever it is. The main thing is I want to help you and really help you to get ahead and get the kind of things that are there. Plus, the first 10 people that fill out the form and get it to me will get a free, specialized, personalized consultation. That's for the first 10 that are going to do it. Gina's passing out some forms right now so that you'll have. So I've got another 600 or 700 hours that I want to present to you, but my MC, me, is telling me, okay, it's 12:49. I'm acutely aware of time, but what I want to do is now open up the floor to the microphone. Don't we have a microphone over there? Yeah, I think we do right there. If you have a question, please go over to the microphone, because we want to make sure everyone hears this. This is being broadcast, and if you just shout it out, we won't be doing as well on that. So if you've got a question, please go to the back and ask that there. And I think we've got a question. Someone there? Yes, sir. Is that? Can we get that mic up over there? It's coming up. I think it is.
Thanks for the talk. I was wondering, over the last year, it seems like censorship of issues surrounding libertarianism, voluntarism, and anarchism has been a big thing ever since the election. Could you comment a little bit on censorship and some of the things that people can do to help amplify the message as it's getting censored?
Yes, thank you for asking. How many of you can relate to that? The censorship that's out there? You know what? It's there. Yes, it is there. And YouTube, Facebook are doing that regularly. However, when you go to Facebook, whose territory is that? It's Facebook. You go to YouTube, that is their private property. Yes, they have the right to do that, but that's why I like Steemit. That's why I like DTube. No censorship. I talked to Hyman Danger, Adrian, the guy that created and wrote DTube. He said that's a hallmark pillar that we have. No censorship. That means there might be some videos on there that you wouldn't care to see. There might be some videos on there that parents wouldn't want their children to see, but that's okay if you know this is what it is. We also, I said, but what if somebody put something on there that most of us would find just repulsive and disgusting and some of the things that we would not want anything to do with? He said, that's also where the free market comes in. If enough people will downvote that, the person would be off. And so it's a community. And so wherever you go, abide by the protocols of that community. And we have another question. Yes, sir.
Two quick questions.
Two.
The first one, I created my Steemit account about 1.5 years ago, but I've been stymied to get started by the consistency. I have more than one thing to talk about, and one of them is very deep, so I guess maybe the answer is create multiple accounts to have consistency between the topics.
Oh yeah, you could have the different, you're saying you have 2 different accounts?
No, I only have one, but because I couldn't decide, I didn't want to get started down the wrong path.
Oh, okay, and you got different areas, like you're
Yes.
interested in blue flowers and red watermelons, or something
Sure.
like that. So you want those
Yeah.
2. Here's what I would do, and I would reference Jeff Berwick. Jeff has the Dollar Vigilante. He also has Anarchast, and by the way, he has another one, just Jeff talking about whatever he wants. Have different silos. Because you think of General Motors. If you're looking for a Cadillac, you're looking for a certain kind of market. Versus if you're looking for I don't even drive cars now, whatever their small car is, a Chevette or something, then you're going to be different. So you would probably want different silos for those.
Different accounts? Different accounts?
What's that?
Is the silos delineated by account?
Yes, different accounts. I would have 2 of them. You can do that within Steemit, by the way.
My second question is, do you recommend a video editor for Linux users?
A video editor?
Yes, to edit videos.
Are you talking about the software or someone else that you would work-
Software for
Software
Linux.
The software that I use is called Camtasia for Mac. Camtasia Mac, it works, but there's many other good ones out there. Adobe Premiere is very good, and a lot of others out there. And I find that works really well. I've got a template set up. Whatever you do, get a template, so that then mine follows kind of a same standard. Okay, thank you. Next question? Do we have a next question? Gina.
Yes, Mr. Brock. I'm getting some questions from people, which, by the way, several of you have already turned yours in, and you're going to be one of the first ones to get the consultation. So since he's up there, rush me and get it to me.
Give those to Gina.
But people are asking about how to pay with Bitcoin, you know, the different payment methods, and also where does the course start on March 5th?
The course will start online. It will be a Zoom presentation that you can be anywhere on the planet that you can get access to the net. So it's very convenient. It's going to be for you. And yes, they will all be recorded. And yes, if you can't make it, you just send in a question. We'll be happy to help you. We want to do that. See, what I want to do, here's my real reason. I want to create millionaires. I like doing that. And so when I can help you, you're going to say, wow, Terry, that was really good, and others will see it. So that's the way it works. Another question? Yes, sir.
So the first post is always the hardest. What do you recommend?
Yeah, you're right. The first one is the hardest. And I would say, don't pin yourself down to just one. Start writing a whole bunch of stuff. As a journalist, I have to come up with something every week that I'm going to send to my editor. So what I do, sometimes I'm going there, well, what am I going to do? Or even worse, I found I'm doing something, but the market doesn't really want it. So what you want to do is you want to experiment and do a lot. Read a lot. Read lots of books. Read lots of magazines. And as you get an idea, write it down. Write it down. Earl Nightingale said it really well. He said, when you get an idea, you got to stab it. He meant you get a pen and paper and write it down. That's a good thing to do. I like using this. so that now when I get an idea, I can tap a couple keys and record it and turn it from speech into text. You can do that with our technologies today. Do that, learn how to do it, because then that's going to help you to get ideas from your brain down into print better. When you write it down, you might lose the paper, or you might go, worst thing, this ever happened to you? Oh, that's a good idea, I'll remember that, and then you don't. Grab it. Remember that stuff. So I would start doing that, get a lot of ideas, reading a lot of books from very different sources that can relate to your idea, be important. Learn how to photo read, write that down if you haven't done it before. Photo reading, it is a powerful way to read 25, 50, 75,000 words a minute at 70% retention. It works. I'm a jaded journalist going, yeah, right, sure. And I found it and worked with it, and it's working. Thank you.
I'd also recommend, on the same point, Spreeder. You can get to 400 words per minute on reading text and stuff like that. So yes.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. How are we doing on time here? We've got 4 minutes and a few seconds left.
Yeah, Terry, I've used Facebook a lot to promote events over the years, and it just seems its effectiveness is really eroded.
Yeah,
the
I hear
feed.
you.
I'm really curious what's going on with Facebook, and what can I do to make it effective, or do I really just need to really get off that reliance on it?
Excellent question. Did you all hear that? That's important. And the idea of Facebook, the efficacy of Facebook is what you're talking about. Is it still effective? I think it's good. And I think a lot of people are still there. We got 4 minutes, 3 minutes, and some seconds here. I know that. That's good. So with Facebook, that's where a lot of people are. Remember this, in marketing, you want to be where your buyers hang out. Wherever it is. If you and I ran a business in pick a year, the 1200s, and most of our buyers were at the tavern at the corner of 4th and Main here in the Village, that's where you want to be. You want to hang out there. They're still at Facebook, but it is eroding. People are going, I don't like it. It's kind of hip now to be against Facebook. They've got some smart people there, and they've done a lot, and I think they're going to be doing even more. Gina and I got a chance to hear Sheryl Sandberg at Harvard, listening to her. There was kind of the reunion thing they were doing, and we got a chance to hear what they're doing. They really know it, but they also are really using a lot. Right now, I keep going back to Steemit, and I am putting this much time into Steemit and about this much time into Facebook, and that's reverse of what it was just a short time ago. Steemit is where I'm spending most of my time. We got how much time do we have? Just about 3 minutes? Yeah, thank you. I think we got 3 minutes. 2 minutes? 2 minutes, that's cool, because the MC's got to come on and introduce the next people. So next question, this might be our last one.
Hi, Terry.
Hi.
I've heard a lot about Steemit. I signed up in August, and unfortunately, I did the one thing that they tell you not to do. I lost my private key.
Oh, you lost your private keys. Ouch.
And so I tied it to my cell phone account, and I've tried multiple ways to create another Steemit account, but they say, nope, you have to have a cell phone tied to it, and I've just been log jammed. I've even been on the internet. So can anybody help me?
Can anybody do it? That is a problem. It's when you lose your private keys. Question, did you have a lot of cash built up on it?
I had zero. I just created an account. I was just busy. I was trying to do tons of things, and yeah.
From a pragmatic point of view, what I would recommend is just start another account. Use something different if you can. I'm not a real technician on that. Matter of fact, and someone that's worked with Steemit a while, raise your hand if you've got some ideas on that. I'm real big on cloud story. If someone over here, someone who's got their hand up, wave it around a little bit, find those people and connect, because I don't know all the answers, but I do know this. I know where the library is, and I know if you tap into the Steemit community, you can get some answers on that as well. We got someone who's going to say that?
I just wanted to answer his question. What
Please.
he's saying is that
Got 1
your
minute.
Steemit, when you sign up for an account through Steemit, you have to enter your cell phone number, and then that cell phone is tied to your account, and you can't open another account with that same cell phone number. So without going and getting another cell phone,
Thank you.
you can't do a new account through Steemit. There are third-party ways to get a new account. One of them is on block trades. You can go into your wallet, and there's a little link to block trades, and right there you'll be able to open up a new account, and you have to pay a little bit of a fee, a third-party fee.
Excellent.
With crypto, but
Thank
it's almost instantaneous. You don't have to provide a cell phone number.
Let's
and
give her a round
there's
of
other
applause.
ways too.
Wonderful answer. This is the community. I love it. No one person knows all the answers. You want a community. I've got just a couple of seconds left here, and the MC and me is saying we're going to stop in just a minute, in about 20 seconds here or so. There's a lot of opportunity out there. I want you to tap into what's right for you. Think of what you're doing, how you can use tools like Steemit, tools like DTube, and others to really propel your career forward. There are many ways to do it, and hey, I want to hear from you. Whether you join the course or not, I want you to stay in touch. That's why I gave you my contact information. My direct email, terry@terrybrock.com. My clock is telling me it's time for me to move on, and we're going to have to, I will take other questions. I will be here, and I definitely want to help you. Thank you so much for being here today.
There was an idea
to bring together a group of remarkable people
to see if we could become something more. So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
that they never could.
In time, the state will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that it's right, yet to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Freedom still arrives.
Vacate the state. Engage all the speakers and get this man a microphone.
Fun isn't something that one considers when eradicating tyranny. But this does put a smile on my face.
Who the hell are you guys?